Hey guys, welcome back. So this is going to be my pregnancy update for the weeks 27 and 28 of my pregnancy. I am officially in my third trimester, about to be 29 weeks, so pretty exciting. I have a list of things I want to talk about today, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing is I did have a doctor's appointment in this 2 weeks, so that is the fun one where they do the glucose tolerance test. I got my results back a couple days later, and I passed. It had to be like less than or equal to 129, and mine was 103, so I was totally within the normal range. I thought that I had gestational diabetes because every time I ate too much sugar I would throw up, but I guess I just throw up for, you know, because maybe I have an intolerance for sugar, but it's not diabetes. I saved the bottle. I asked them if I could take it home. They were like, okay, if you really want to. This says oral glucose tolerance beverage, fruit punch, 50 gram. It's by EasyDex 50. And I saved the bottle because I thought people might want to see it's 10 ounces with 50 grams of sugar. So it really wasn't that bad. It's smaller than like a normal bottle of water, which is like 16.9 ounces. I thought it tasted pretty good. It was fruit punch. It kind of had like a fruit punch slash bubblegum taste to it, but I liked it. And it was fine. I just sat there for an hour and then they drew my blood and everything was fine. They also did some other blood work. They did like a CBC and everything else was good. My iron was good. All my other values were fine. So that was exciting. Glad to have that over with. I also got the Rogaine shot, which is basically like I have an O-negative blood type and my husband is positive blood type. And so they give you the shot once at 28 weeks and then again at birth, just in case your baby has different blood type than you do, your body doesn't try to fight their blood in your system. So got that. And then they did my fundus measurement where they take the tape measure and they measure from the top of your uterus to the bottom, to the top of your pubic bone, I think it is. And I'm still 3 weeks ahead. So I was at the 23-week appointment, I was measuring 26 weeks. At my 28-week appointment, I was measuring 31 weeks. So I asked the doctor, because of course I didn't have my glucose tolerance results back yet, right? I asked her, so if my glucose comes back normal and I'm still measuring 3 weeks ahead, then what? Like, do we care? Like, is it just a big baby? Like, what's the problem? She's like, yeah, probably, but now that you've measured 2 appointments or more, we've documented that you've measured ahead, we are allowed to do the growth scan, where, like, your insurance, if you do the third trimester, like an ultrasound or growth scan, without it being medically necessary, your insurance makes you, like, pay for it at a different rate, almost like it's an elective ultrasound, like you're just deciding you want to do it. But now that I've measured and documented 2 appointments in a row where I've measured ahead by 3 weeks or more, then they can justify ordering this test on me and then my insurance will pay it at a better rate. So that is exciting. We have scheduled the growth scan. So we're having an ultrasound at my next appointment, which is in like a week or so. I'm going to the doctor every 2 weeks now, and I have made the switch officially from midwives. Now I'm going to a OBGYN. At the same practice, we just decided we wanted a midwife for during the pregnancy, and then I wanted to have an OBGYN do the delivery in case anything crazy happens. I just like to know that whoever is there can take care of it right then and there. You know, I don't need to wait for someone, whoever's on call, to come in or whatever. They're already going to be in the room. They'll take care of the problem. So I don't know, it just makes me feel better. I felt a little bad because we've been seeing this midwife, you know, over and over, and then I'm like, so now that I'm going to have an OBGYN do my delivery, when should I make that switch? And she was like, oh, and she just had like one sentence to like defend that she could do everything else. She could do the episiotomy, she could do an epidural, she could handle everything else, and I want a natural birth. You know, I do want a vaginal birth, not a C-section, but so she's like I could do everything. I'm like, I know, but you know, my husband and I agreed that we wanted an OBGYN for the delivery. She's like, okay, then I would recommend you do that at your next appointment. So instead of scheduling with me or a midwife, make an appointment with the OBGYNs. I'm like, okay. So we're doing that. My next appointment is with an OBGYN. I had a dermatologist appointment February 22nd, I think it was. And I said, you know, my back is just completely covered in acne. And my face is really bad. It's the worst it's ever been. Like, what the heck? And so she was like, ooh, she's like, most pregnant women get a glow and their skin is the best it's ever been. not you. So you're one of the lucky few that their skin gets worse. Let's go ahead and get you on some amoxicillin. And they also, she also prescribed me a topical treatment. It's a gel, Phenacia it's called. Super expensive. I even told my brother-in-law, the pharmacist, who's a pharmacist, about it, and he was like, oh, the first thing he said when I said they prescribed it to me, he goes, that stuff's expensive. And I was like, yeah, I was surprised when I go to Walgreens and it's $120 for a tube of face cream or face gel. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, well, I'll try it once, because there aren't very many treatments that they can do when you're pregnant. You know, not very many are like category B where it's okay, you know. And the doctor had said, the dermatologist said, you know, like I can apply that as long as I'm not doing it like all over my body, a little bit, you know, you're not absorbing too much for the baby. So I was like, okay, so I'm doing twice a day on my face, but only once a day on my back, so I don't absorb too much. But other than that, it's fine. I filled out and sent in the admitting paperwork for the hospital that we're going to be having the baby at. And on there was a line that said pediatrician, and it was blank. And I was like, I have to have a pediatrician? I'm only 28 weeks pregnant, right? So I asked around, and I called the pediatrician that my sister uses for my nephews, and she said she recommended them, and they were like a half a mile from my house. I was like, okay, done. So I called them, and they said, yeah, just put our name down, and then when the baby's born, because obviously the baby's not going to have a social security number yet, they don't have a birth date, they don't have even a name yet, they could come out being the other gender, you know, that you thought they were going to be. So she's like, just put our name down, and then, you know, we will see the baby once, about 3 or 5 days after the baby's born. The baby shower invites are going out. Still refining our baby registries. We've been kind of checking things off ourselves as far as like things we've already purchased ourselves, but I think we still have like 70 items on our registry, so it's not like we're have no options for other people to buy us. But baby's room is just about furnished. This week we have this week I got some bins for the changing table, like little cubbies for underneath it. We got an end table for next to the recliner in there, so like when I'm nursing in the recliner or the rocker, I have a place to like put a lamp and a cup, you know, my phone or whatever I want to sit with at the table. And my sister had her baby this week. She was early, so we were actually only 9.5 weeks apart, and they were going to induce her a little bit early for a C-section, and she went into labor a week and a half before that. So our babies, if mine was born on its due date, would be 12 weeks apart. I think they'll be 12 weeks apart. So that's not too bad or anything. I was kind of sad that she went early, because now I don't have my pregnant buddy. And also, like, our kids are going to be a little bit farther in age apart. 3 months is still fine. They're still going to be in the same grade in school. You know, she's had a boy, I'm having a girl, so it's not like, you know, it's fine. But it was very interesting. I got to go to the hospital. We got there, of course, like the day after she had the baby. She had the baby at 2:30 in the morning, and it was a scheduled C-section, but that part wasn't scheduled. Like, we knew it was going to be a C-section, but it happened, you know, a little bit earlier than we wanted. So I didn't get to see like a labor and delivery room or anything, and that's not the hospital I'm delivering at, but it was nice to still at least see. It's kind of like their sister hospital, to see what she got, what was included in the room, what I might not want to bring when we're staying there after I give birth, like the postpartum unit, you know. So that was really good for me to see that. My husband came with me, and we got to see, like, this is what the bathroom's going to have, this is what they provide for you, here's the drink and snack area and the ice machine and everything, like, here's what you have. So that was really good for me to plan to pack my hospital bag and you know, things like that. Maybe I'm not quite ready yet at 29 weeks today, but I am able to at least get an idea of what I need to bring. I have gathered my postpartum basket of all the products that I need to have after delivery, whether it's a C-section or vaginal delivery, so that I'm ready. So I've got that. I'm going to be filming that basket. Of course, I have not given birth before, guys. Like, I know I'm not an expert, but I did get all those products together in a basket. So if for some reason I had to, I've got them all. We have a breastfeeding class. It's like the art of breastfeeding is today. I think the day this video is going up at night. So we'll be taking that. And then a week from that, we'll be doing the hospital tour. So we're ahead of the game. You know, I already got a pediatrician and all that. I am completely in maternity clothes. I have noticed a bit of swelling. My rings, I feel like they kind of look like sausage fingers maybe. Like, I don't know if you can tell. Maybe not so much right now, but And my feet, like when I wear my strappy shoes, they kind of give me like an indent in the top of my foot when I take my shoe off. So I know I'm swollen a little bit, but I'm still able to wear everything. My shoes and my rings and everything are fine. I have felt kicking like crazy, and the kicking that my baby's doing now is not like a little like boom, 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 boom from inside. No, she's like wah, and then she like rolls over, and it's weird. It's like if I didn't know it was a baby, I would not like it probably, but because I know it's her, I think it's my favorite part of pregnancy so far. Like just staring down at my stomach and watching her move and feeling her kick. I've gotten like choked up, and I like actually have cried because of how wonderful it is. So there's my hormonal crying again, but I think it's amazing to see that there's a human in there, and like what? So then when of course I saw my nephew, who was, you know, 12 hours old when I met him, less than 12 hours old I think, I was like, oh my gosh. Now he was 8 pounds and 14 ounces, so he was a big boy, but still I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like holding him, looking down, like there's one of these inside my stomach right now. Like what? Wow, okay, so that's weird, but I found that really surreal thinking. So also I noticed on my app this week it says that she's like 16, could be 16 or 17 inches long. Like that's huge. Like what? It said it's a rollerblade. She's the size of a rollerblade. I can't even fathom. I think it was 2 weeks ago it said she was the size of a bowling pin, and that I could imagine because like the fruit thing is hard sometimes, I don't know. But then when I changed it to the, you know, this last week it was a rollerblade. I was like, wow. I do have rollerblades, just staring at that. Now obviously not the boot and everything, but just like the rollerblade, that was crazy. I'm still a little bit achy, a little bit like, it's not even cramps, but just like I can feel that there's stuff going on. I'm like, there's a baby in there. It's just sore a little bit. I had a couple of Braxton Hicks contractions. They don't hurt. It's just basically like my stomach goes from like normal to like rock hard for like 30 seconds. And then it goes back to normal. Like right around my belly button, it just goes rock hard. I'm like, what the heck is that? You know, of course I Google it. It says it's Braxton Hicks. Still having some cravings for sweets a bit. And I've been eating like yogurt parfaits, like yogurt with granola. That's been really good. Still really liking breakfast burritos, but no meat, just like eggs, cheese, and potatoes in a tortilla. Been really good for me. I have been having some headaches, but I've been taking magnesium every day still, as the recommendation, as the neurologist recommended, so I've been doing that. And nausea, I have had some nausea. Just yesterday I threw up twice, so it is not over, guys. Don't think that it's ever going to be over, but yeah. I still managed to put on a healthy amount of weight. I think I'm about 18 pounds up at 29 weeks pregnant, so I think that's pretty good. At the beginning when I asked my midwife, like how much do you think I should gain overall based on my BMI and everything, and she said 15 to 25. So I'm at 18 and I'm already in my 3rd trimester. It'll probably end up being more like 25 by the end, but I still feel pretty good about my weight gain. I've gotten a few compliments that like I'm a cute pregnant person, and I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, well, some women just get puffy and fat everywhere, but you're carrying it really cute. So I feel really good about that. It was like really nice to hear that, and it was not just from one person. You know, I've had it from multiple people now, and some people just look miserable when they're pregnant, and I've been told I look cute. That's nice. Nice to hear. You never know what you're going to look like when you're pregnant, you know, having never been pregnant before, never been this pregnant before. I feel huge, guys. Like, my belly is undeniable. No matter what I wear now, there's no hiding it. Let me see if I can just stand up and show you. So I don't know if you can tell, but there's no hiding it now. I am clearly preggo. Like, even from the front, you can tell I'm pregnant. From the side, you can tell I'm pregnant. Let me show you my official bump shot photos so you can see those, but I always show week 9 first so you can see the starting point, and then this will be week 28's photo. That is it for my weeks 27 and 28 of pregnancy update. Hope you guys found this video fun. If you are also pregnant, comment down below how pregnant you are, where you are in your pregnancy, what your symptoms have been. I always find that entertaining. Thanks for watching. Bye.